Just kind of looking at the action, I feel like it's likely for us to trade back towards the new week opening gap. That tends to be a pretty strong draw on liquidity. I mean, that's pretty much what we did last week too. We gapped up and then traded back towards it. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we did this week in the opposite sense. But again, I'm not super eager to take a trade. The daily is extremely weak if we take a look at that. Super weak. Super weak. But the question becomes whether or not we make it some sort of wick and then trade higher. But yeah, generally trading against the daily candle bias is never going to work out consistently over a long term. But we'll watch it today. There's like two opposing scenarios that are both not the best. You don't necessarily want to be shorting all the way down here. Like, it doesn't make sense. There's been very little pullback. So, and then also, you don't necessarily want to be buying such a weak candle. So, just got to kind of watch it. But these are the main levels. So, we'll even just annotate this one. What up? What up? So I think, possibly, up here, maybe a setup, maybe to target up here. But as it stands, it's like there's not really much going on here. Like maybe this is a formation kind of happening, but hard to say. Really is hard to say. So yeah, just definitely want to be mindful that obviously on multiple time frames, what we're seeing is just a bearish trend. It's like almost every time frame. Whether or not we get some sort of like emergency bounce at the open, then so be it. But like, yeah, price is super extended. Like we can start to look at the session tendencies too, because I think that's also important. Right here, let's bring up one chart right here. So we've just pretty much traded lower all London. Right. There would be your midnight open. So based on the session tendency, we ran all the way down, swept out Asia low, tagged the gap barely, right? Tagged this new week opening gap barely. So the idea would be if we could see some sort of lower time frame confirmations that really start to stack, then potentially, yeah, we could trade back up to here, if not the new week opening gap, right? So those are like your overhead levels that I'd be watching. Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Hello. So it'll be a pretty simple game plan. The way you win today is by doing the least, in my opinion. I don't think this is a day where you want to max out anything really. It's like look for one trade maybe. If it provides a clear signal on that, yeah, go for it. But yeah, I'm not in a rush. You definitely take your time on Mondays. It's very rare that the trade needs to happen immediately, but we got 15 minutes till the open, so we'll just kind of see what we see, right? See what develops. But what we're looking at right here is just see lower high, lower high, lower high. You can argue that this is potentially going to be a sweep right here, but you just don't have enough data yet, in my opinion. So yeah, trading back to the new week opening gap. That would be a reasonable scenario. However, I want enough variables on my side where it's not like me guessing. I don't want to be hoping that it happens. I don't want to be assuming. I'd rather have a very clear picture because the market will give you those setups. You just have to wait for them. And right here, it's like, what is this? There's nothing. We have a doji on the 15. 5 minute doesn't really tell us much yet. You need to start changing the structure if you want to, get involved here. Higher low, to maybe one of these, right? But right here, it can easily just kind of shoot up and then kind of just roll over. So you just got to be mindful of all the scenarios. So yeah, I got this platform all organized. So now I can let's see, where is it? Can remove shit like this. Just that. Yeah, I can take off the chat. And you can see the orders. So I made it so I can adjust some things. I'm gonna have a bunch of different things I could put in this little chat area. Have like notes right there and stuff. Just little by little. Can adjust these too. So yeah, it's just rejecting kind of. That's what we're seeing at that initial 5 minute gap, but the gap is also forming right where it swept that previous low on like a 5 or 15 minute. So there's a lot of mixed signals, at least on the medium or lower time frame. On the higher time frame, it's pretty strong bearish. Pretty clear it's bearish on the higher time frame. But that doesn't mean that there's not a bounce that could align with the open. Because you'll see often, even if a trend is one way, its orientation into the New York Open will determine whether or not you could potentially take a counter trend trade. Meaning if something rallies all night, it's very likely you pull back into the open. So maybe this is selling off all night. From midnight open, we're just down 50 points on ES. That's pretty big. NQ would be, let's see, 100, yeah, 100 points. Wow. Yeah, NQ 200 points. So 10 minutes till the open. We're just going to keep watching. I'll more than likely be willing to let the first 15 to 30 minutes kind of develop. Let any early traps shake out. There's no need to be super aggressive with entries. There'll probably be an entry after 10. Like, I don't think it's going to happen at 9:30 and that's it. So there's always room. Always room to find something. And if not, we just save the ammo. Later in the week, I mean, after Jolts will be probably a little clearer. CPI will give clarity. The only problem is we start messing up when we think we're missing a move, or thinking, oh, we should be doing this or that. It's like, what do you know that works well? And then just do that over and over. And if you don't see that setup, then fucking avoid it. You don't get extra points for leaning into something that's not very refined. You get extra money by actually doing what you know works. So, especially in markets like this, they became very persistently weak. And now it's just like wait for that opportunity where it's either, a good pullback, because I don't necessarily believe in shorting the lows. That's just not something that I do really. So I'm not going to be shorting the breakdown here. Same way I wouldn't buy the breakout right here, like at the highs. I want to see some sort of discount priced in if I'm looking for a long, and then premium if I'm looking for a short. At 60 points down. Yeah, that's crazy. What's everybody watching into the open? Yeah, I feel that. I mean, yeah, if it's gonna go lower, it's prior day low. Like, very, very likely. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it alone for now, honestly, because it's just a very, very garbage location. The middle of a wick, Monday, like, oh wow, are we gonna trade down to this low and then that's it? And are we even gonna get that low? Is it gonna be an SMT on one of the other two? It's only, I don't know, 20 fucking days lower. Brutal. So, yeah, I think I'm with you. Keep it chill. It just makes more sense for there to be some sort of bounce, but that doesn't mean I have to trade it, you know. But for it to just sell immediately into the open after going and, we're talking just selling all night. 60 points on ES. 4 hour looks ridiculous. Look at this 4 hour chart. What is that? Look how terrible that looks. It's like, I wouldn't even want to buy this. It's just so extended on the 4 hour, just straight up for, 4 candles. That's not an entry I'm taking, you know? So it's like, if I can't buy that in the reverse scenario, why would I short it? I'm not just trying to make money. I'm trying to follow a system, trying to have a repeatable process. And that doesn't mean just, oh, short the lows. That's a very bad habit to have. Like, it's cool if it works right now, but not really, because that's not something that consistently works. Traded these markets for many years, and it's like, you try shorting the lows all the time, I promise you, it's not going to be a consistently successful endeavor. But, that's neither here nor there. We got 3 minutes till the open. Watch like the 5 probably, and then let's see. Probably like the 30 or something. Yeah, there's nothing here for me. Maybe wait for like, I don't know, 57.20 area. Maybe you take a short on that 5 minute, but in this scenario, it's like, where are you putting your stop? You probably got stopped out right here. All right, 2 minutes. Hopefully this goes by quick. We'll see if there's any decent setups. I don't want to force anything today. Big news this week, so no point in getting ahead of the news if there's no clarity. It's like, maybe that's your trade. It's just, this isn't mine. It's not my trade. I don't like this shit. Not my trade. All right, we got 10 seconds. Let's see how this goes. 10 seconds, right? NQ's weakest so far. Just barely, though. YM's the strongest by a lot. Like MYM. See, YM's breaking the highs. Damn, look at that fucking thing. Target like that. Yeah, YM's leading. What a move. What a move on YM. Barely a new week opening gap on YM though. Yeah. So again, remember we want this to kind of hold as a swing low, this area right here. So any sort of price action that we can get above there would help with that case, but let's see. Yeah, NQ stab lower twice. That's what ES is gonna do. He's on like the 1 minute. YM's just off to the races. See, maybe we could take the 5 minute inversion here. 7 points. Let's just try this. This is the trade I'm gonna do today. We'll try this. We'll try that on the 5 minute. It's probably super aggressive, but we'll see. Yeah, I should have waited for it to close. Oh well. Yeah, that's it. All right, so that was an easy one. I'm gonna stop there, but we'll keep watching. Here, that's a perfect example of letting it close. I thought it could work, so I've been seeing a lot of examples where in price you'll see, NQ failed, ES failed, YM still holding, but I've seen a lot of examples where those initial gaps, like the 1 minutes, they'll get left open when when there's like a 5 minute inversion. So I was like, yeah, maybe that'll work. So we'll try that. But obviously it didn't work. So took the stop there. So whatever, 180 bucks, 190 bucks. So that's the daily stop right there. I thought it could work. It looked good. I didn't really give it a closing basis. So that happened to shift its character really quick. But the idea is that if this held right here, this would have been a pretty decent run to right there. The target was reasonable. So I was willing to take the shot. It was at the area I liked. And obviously it just completely failed where YM is still holding. I didn't think ES would give back as much as it did, obviously. Where you see YM's holding, I expected this kind of continuation from ES. So I think that was an okay loss. What could I have done better? I probably could have waited for the closure. I think that was the only issue. I was a little bit early on the time on the 5 minute candle. But again, I didn't really anticipate it going new lows like this. I did not anticipate it wicking all crazy. Oh well. I like the location. That's pretty much the area I wanted to be in, so. Yeah, YM's giving it back, so. Happens. You gotta kind of take shots that you think are gonna work. That's a trade I figured would work. But here we are, it's just selling to the lows, which in retrospect isn't a terrible place to go. Obviously prior day lows right there. But the idea is that like if we're going to sell all of London, it is more than reasonable to expect some sort of bounce right there. So to have us kind of go like this, I'd take that trade again for sure. We're only like 55 fucking miles from VWAP. Like, like legitimately, we are so far from this thing. Mind you, that's a 5 minute chart. So the idea is the mean reversion, right? You sell all night, you could pull back into the open. But I guess YM was just, just a fake rally, right? Oh well. We'll watch it. Now we're forming a 5 minute. Yeah. So that might hold as a swing. Let's see. I think we have one last bullet left. We'll be a little more cautious with this one. See what's our risk setting at? 330. So yeah, 130 bucks. We could risk one more. But we'll give it a little more time. This could be the breaker right here. Let's watch it. Reclaim fair value gap. Needs to work immediately. Nope. All right, that's it for me on the day. 0 for 2. Happens this Monday. So I had, again, I was thinking that, again, this would hold right here. Maybe it was sweeping and this was going to be the reclaimed gap. Waited for this candle to close, closed above, but it just dipped below. I had 5 contracts. Probably should have had 3 for micro ES, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, NQ's closing weaker. YM's leading though. That's like the thing that's throwing me off because I'm anticipating that ES is going to hold a little better, right? Like ES should at least kind of hold, but we're not seeing any of that. We're just seeing YM kind of just lead the show, right? It's interesting. It's interesting to me, but it is what it is. Regular ES did not get the close above. Don't you love that? Don't you love those minor nuances? Yeah, it's like by a hair, right? I see it now up here. Oh well, not much you could do. All you do is manage your risk. What did I do? I took 2 losses back to back, so like I'm legitimately not taking another trade. I don't feel like doing that. You know, you set your risk. This is an aggressive account for stream. The goal is to take more aggressive trades. Sometimes you get stopped. The problem is I think my bias is right too. I think my bias is right. I don't think I'm wrong. I think my executions are off, but I don't think I'm wrong. Know what? Oh yeah, no, I don't love that either. Yeah. But yeah, I do feel like it's more than likely that we hold this fucking area. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. So yeah, back to like this 5720 area makes sense to me. So you're getting that 5 minute. In 5 minutes, you'll get that 15-minute close. So yeah, my thought process was we'd hold right here earlier. I figured it'd be like one of those little quick ones and then run. So I can't really be too mad. I mean, I know the trades were aggressive. Like I'm bothered maybe 1 out of 10. Yeah. So tag down here, this inversion. Yeah, to pretty much 5720. ES is outperforming NQ, YM's outperforming both. So it just basically, it moved a little too far against me. That's about it. 8-point stop. Not much I can do. Right? There's really not much I can do. I can have a tight stop on this. I've seen enough examples of what I'm describing working, so it's like I could take the trade. But it also means that I could take the risk, right? I could get stopped out really easy. So now right here, let's see. You don't want 5706 to 5720 pretty quickly. Look at that 15-minute. Look at that 15-minute and tell me that we're going lower. Gotta love Mondays. YM new high of day. What a joke. Look at YM. It's leading the show. Here's your YM. Just a fucking tearing, right? It's just off to the moon. This thing's up. Yeah, almost here. 563. So, yeah. 0 for 2, but our bias was right. Our bias was right. It just dipped literally, like my stop was like right here. It wicked me out by like 2 points. I'm saying like 2 points, like it's nothing on ES. 2 points is a decent chunk on ES. However, it is what it is. But yeah, we can kind of dissect this. Is there really any way I could have anticipated this first run lower? I don't know. This getting swept. You would think that... I mean, I obviously would have thought that would hold. Yeah, I mean... Is SMT right here? It's kind of a joke because I initially what I saw, it's like, yeah, the SMT right here on YM, right? Like ES made a lower low, NQ made a lower low, and then this thing, it was up above here with YM above. So I didn't think it would need to sweep again because I'm in like right, you know, it was like right here or whatever. Then it goes to right here and then folds all the way back down just to run it again. No, I didn't anticipate that. That's for sure. I don't think I could have anticipated that, but here's potentially your little continuation. Your little bullish gap right here. It's probably the easier trade. You look for something like this to build out, right? And then you target something higher. So that 57.22, yeah, 23. Because now you're getting the hourly on NQ to kind of flip. ES, look at that hourly. Tell me we're bearish on that hourly. 16 minutes left. So, again, right bias, wrong timing. Got stopped by like 2 points right here. Got stopped right here, boom, and then stop right here. So, yeah, all good. Here you are, I'm resolving higher from that order block that we just drew out. So I would think that 23 is reasonable on ES, right? I think that's a reasonable target. You get the 15-minute closure right here. So this is your trade, you know. I just got stopped out of mine. Like, I feel like this would be the easy move. So maybe there's an SMT forming at the highs with YM right here. Maybe. Really hard to say. I think you're going to get some movement higher on the candle closure, though. So you have 4 seconds on the 15 minute. So to close, and I think this is reasonable. So you see right here, it's like you get choppy delivery. Our entry was 94. So we'd have been able to be up, 10 points. Entry was like right here. Boom. So yeah, that's a decent move. That's a decent move. I was risking like, I don't know, down to here. 5 points. YM looks like it's rounding over. I'd be cautious. Doesn't mean the trade's dead. It just means careful this one. You'd want to see this obviously resolve higher. ES looks okay. Let's see. NQ's still kind of catching up. NQ still hasn't broken that nearest swing high on like the 5 minute. So yeah, you want this to close green, but kind of rounding over also. Yeah, YM sinking. So maybe this was about the distance you get. Hard to say, right? So in this scenario, if I was still in this trade, I'd probably have my stop right here under that swing low, expecting this to immediately displace. Just because it's a counter trend trade, right? It's a bounce. You can't give it too much room. I wouldn't leave a wide stop on it once I'm in profit. There's no point. NQ is completely folded, so NQ loyalists getting kind of messed up today. Yeah, that's the important thing to know. It's like NQ wouldn't have even given you a shot at this today. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's your rally for the day. That might be the distance you got, which is not bad if you really look at it the right way. We're talking, let's just say right here to right here, fucking almost 20 points. Yeah, 19 points on ES. That's a lot. It's a big move. So what you can do is you can either take a trade or you don't, right? You can take a loss or you don't. It's not that complicated. The only thing that makes trading complicated is if you try to fix this. There's obviously nothing here that I can read very well, right? Like I saw a setup that I liked. I didn't execute it the way I needed to stay in the trade. Maybe I could have waited for like this candle closure, right? That would be a potential. Maybe instead of buying it right here, I wait for it to hold a little bit, then enter here, and then I could take it off here. That would probably work. And just being in 2 minutes, it's literally being in 1 minute, 2 minutes too early. That's sometimes what makes the difference between like a somewhat likely trade and then like a highly probable trade. But all you could do with this is gather information and see, was this an optimal entry? I thought it was fine. I thought the entry was fine. I literally got stopped out by a couple points. So chalk it up to Monday. But yeah, that's all the trading I'm gonna do today, honestly. That's it. Take 2 losses, call it a day. Let that be a guideline, right? If you take 2 losses, just wrap it up. It's either the market isn't in your favor or you're not reading things right. And for me, it's just I guess a little bit of both. I like the setup. I like the idea that we would invert this gap, and it seems that that's going to be true, possibly. Right? Possibly. It was for a minute. It was true for sure. But the question is, do we hold above it? So, yeah, YM's pushing closer to highs again. NQ is very folded. ES is in the middle. We made one good adjustment today, and that was staying away from NQ. Just didn't work out well enough. YM would have been the better choice. Maybe you're able to grab an entry right here. Yeah. Yeah, what a joke. But hey, you can make the changes you can, and you can't fix everything at once. So it's progress, not perfection at the end of the day with all this trading shit. It's easy to do everything right in theory, but in execution, sometimes you just do something that you would do again and it doesn't even work in your favor. Like there's nothing today that I feel like, oh, that was like a terrible mistake. No, those were good trades. They work. Just not right now. I just got wicked out on one of them. I got stopped fully. The other one somewhat wicked out by like a point or two. But it's because I want to keep my risk tight. I'd rather take the 5-point stop than endure like a 7 or 8 point drawdown to potentially see an upside. It's better just to take the tighter stop. So And these weren't trades I was trying to make $100, risking 150. I was trying to make 500. So all trades I would take again. No issue there. You can also tell who's going to make it and who's not based on the fact that if you take a loss, if someone has like an immediate emotional reaction to that, it's like just because you're not okay with losses doesn't mean that anyone is like not okay with losses. Losses are literally half of the game. It's like the most important thing. Or like you show a new trader a trade and it'll be like the high of day and you'll sell lower and they're like, wait, why didn't you sell the high of day? And it's like, oh, I don't know. Why didn't I think of that? It's like, yeah, like I definitely knew that was a high of day when it was a high of day. Come on, let's be real. So you're pinned between levels, right? You have prior day low, and then you have obviously these lower highs above you, this fair value gap above you, and then the new week opening gap. It's not high probability, but the location that I was trying to engage in, this is the only spot I really liked for the day. So those are trades I would take again. They fit my risk tolerance. I didn't over leverage or anything, so I'm good with that. Anyone catch anything? Anyone catch a short on NQ? Anything? I mean, hey, that's better than nothing, right? Let's see, what's a 1 minute look like on NQ? Yeah, there's like I see that it's moving lower. It's just I can't see an entry for me. Maybe look at it's different. Oh, maybe a second ago. Maybe that'd be okay. Yeah. You're up 40 points. Yeah, yeah, that's tough. All right, NQ is at prior day low. Yeah, any questions, anybody? I'm pretty much at 10 a.m. NQ at prior day low, ES following. Why I'm still holding high of day. So you got assets that are not in sync. This typically is, when you see that, it's not normally the best trading day. Like this thing's holding high still, and the rest are kind of sinking. Kind of surprising. I would have figured ES would hold up a little better. I figured like a little better. Like look at that 15. Just no respect for the break of structure right here. Nothing. It just said no, I'm good. So interesting developments, but it's all good. We'll see if NQ has a reaction to prior day low. What up? What up? Yeah, what a messy chart. Oh well. So yeah, tomorrow jolts. Jolts should be significant. The daily on this right now is just garbage. So like maybe one more day will give us some sort of clarity. But as it currently stands, like it's so ridiculous because you would think in this big move there would be more areas to get involved, but it's just been just kind of selling. Like I could think back to like 5-6 days where it's just kind of just rolls over off the open and provides really no entries. So the way that it's been selling it's been ridiculous in my opinion. I definitely have not seen anything like it. Not at least in a long time. So interesting stuff. Yeah, NQ relatively weaker. YM's at high of day. ES almost mirroring NQ. Little SMC at the lows. But other than that, I mean, yeah, stay safe, everybody. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done for today. I mean, is there maybe something that develops right now? Sure, there might be some sort of inversion that kind of sets up right here. You know, you got YM literally ripping higher. It's kind of embarrassing that ES did not even keep up a little bit. But, you know, you take your shots. I'll take them. Who cares? All right, well, any questions, anybody? We'll wrap up right here. Call it a day. We'll come back for jolts, hit that hard, and then CPI right after. So CPI Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday will be jolts. Any questions, anybody? We'll hop off right here. Later.